A few weeks ago, I did a workshop review of this Desert Eagle. Originally, I had intended to do a range review, but I couldn't get out to the range like I had planned. Anyway, I've gotten out to the range here and shot a few rounds with it, so let's talk about it. During this range session, I used some MagTech 44 Remington Magnum ammo, weighing in at 240 grains, and these are semi-jacketed soft point or SJSP projectiles. This ammo is approved by Magnum Research for use in this Desert Eagle. And that's important because this Desert Eagle is ammo sensitive, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit. I love shooting big bore handguns because they're obnoxiously loud. I also like the noticeable muzzle flash you get when you shoot these. It's just really cool to see a huge fireball exiting the muzzle of the barrel. At least for me it is. I also like that big bore handguns are a conversation starter, and that gives you a new opportunity to meet new people, and I like that. And this Desert Eagle is no exception to any of those things that I love about big bore handguns. The Desert Eagle really tames the perceived recoil of a 44 Magnum. It does not hurt at all, and the recoil is very manageable for a big bore handgun. I've used this gun to introduce people to shooting big bore handguns, although I do make sure to set expectations with them and make sure that they know how to shoot what I consider to be a standard bore pistol. Something like a 9mm or a 45 ACP. I know I've said this before, but the Desert Eagle is a very iconic firearm. It's featured in many different films and TV shows and video games. For example, one of my favorites is the movie Deadpool. I just happen to really enjoy Marvel movies, and I enjoyed Deadpool. Now, Deadpool dual-wielded Desert Eagles like this one. In fact, they have the same tungsten finish that you find in this gun that I'm shooting here. I do think that his were the 50 Action Express version of this gun with the integrated muzzle brake, but it's close enough for me to really like this gun because Deadpool used it. I also like the fact that this gun can be converted to a 50 Action Express by purchasing a separate barrel chambered for 50 AE and 50 AE magazines. Gives you some additional options to shooting big bore rounds without having to purchase a whole new firearm. And that's pretty cool in my book. There aren't very many things, or really anything at all, that I don't like about this gun, or at least the gun itself. I don't like the fact that I don't shoot this gun well, but that has more to do with me than the gun itself, and you can see how bad I actually am at shooting this gun in the video. Desert Eagles are notorious for requiring a very firm grip with locked out wrists and elbows. Even the slightest bit of limp wrist will prevent the gun from cycling reliably, as you can see that I'm doing here. Part of the problem is that the gun is heavy. It weighs around 5 pounds, so after a little while my arms start getting tired, which leads me to relax my grip and then having to deal with failures to feed and failures to go into battery. Again, that's my problem, not really a problem with the gun. I also don't like that the Desert Eagle is ammo sensitive, but when you think about it a little, it makes sense as to why it is. The Desert Eagle uses a gas piston operated design when it cycles. As such, it requires a certain amount of gas pressure to operate. 44 Magnum cartridges come in a wide variety of loads. Some are designed for cowboy action shooting, some are designed for lever action rifle shooting. So you just have to make sure you get 44 Magnum factory loads that produce the right pressure. And the easiest way to do that is to refer to the list provided by Magnum Research. Personally, I love this gun. Sure, there are things about it that I don't like, but like I mentioned, those things are mostly have to do with me and my ability to shoot this gun well. Yeah, it can be a bit of a nuisance to look for the right 44 Magnum cartridges, but I think that's just the nature of 44 Magnum. At least to the best of my knowledge, you want to buy the right 44 Magnum cartridges for the right application. Since I like shooting big bore pistols, I'm heavily considering buying a 50 Action Express barrel for it. It's not something that's at the top of my list today, but I may end up doing that in the future. Although I just may end up buying a second Desert Eagle in 50 AE instead. I'm not really sure which way I'm going to go. I think it would be cool to try dual wielding Desert Eagles like Deadpool did. Although I'm sure I would struggle with the cycling of the firearm, or at least cycling them reliably, since I have a hard time doing that with two hands anyway. For me, the Desert Eagle is a range-only gun. That might not be true for everyone, but that's my opinion. Take that for what it is. I have no problem recommending this gun to anyone who is looking to add an iconic pistol to a collection, or looking for a semi-automatic handgun to get into big bore shooting. I think it's a great option for those applications. Well, that's about all I have to say about the Desert Eagle right now, so enjoy the last few seconds of the recording, and we'll talk to you next time.